Uttamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashta Prayeshva Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So today we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, chapter number 14, and texts 20, 21, and 22. Daivatani rudanti va svidyanti hi uchchalanti cha ime jana padagrama purodhyana kara shrama varashta shriyo nirananda kim agham darshayanti naha. So, translation. The deities seem to be crying in the temple, lamenting and perspiring. They seem about to leave. All the cities, villages, towns, gardens, mines, and hermitages are now devoid of beauty and bereft of all happiness. I do not know what sort of calamities are now awaiting us. Manya etair mahotpatair nunam bhagavata padaihi ananya purusha shribhir hina bhurhata saubhaga. I think that all these earthly disturbances indicate some greater loss to the God fortune of the world. The world was fortunate to have been marked with the footprints of the lotus feet of the Lord. These signs indicate that this will no longer be. Iti chintayatas tasya drishtarishtena chetasa rajna pratyagamat brahman Yadupurya Kapit Vajja. O Brahmana Shaunaka, while Maharaja Yudhishthira, observing the inauspicious signs on the earth at that time, was the thinking of himself, Arjuna came back from the city of the Yadus, Dwaraka. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhescha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankhaite Girim Yat Kripata Maham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm so happy actually being here in your good association, like the perfect association for me. Thank you so much for this, like the best opportunity to be here with you all. So here in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Maharaj Yudhishthira is observing some signs, and these signs are not so auspicious. They're actually inauspicious. And we can see that in this world, there are always some signs, like especially if, like when I was a child, my mother one day, she came to me in the morning and she said that she have seen some dream at the night, like while she was sleeping, and she was like a little bit worried, not little bit, but actually she was worried a lot. And she was saying, "Oh, dear Ramanuj," at that time I was not yet a Ramanuj, but let's say I was like, I got some other name, and she said, "Oh, my dear son, is everything okay with you? I'm like little bit, I'm worrying about you. I have seen some dream, and I will not tell you the dream, but I think something might happen. Please be careful." She was worrying about myself. Like I was a kid, and I didn't know anything about good or bad. I was just thinking about games, playing in the courtyard. So she came to me and she said, like, be careful, please, my dear son. Maybe you shouldn't go outside today. Just sit at home and read some books. And I said, no, my mom, don't worry, everything will be fine. And at that same day, I had broken my arm, my right arm. That happened. So my mother, she was able to predict that something might happen just by like her maternal, like, her maternal, how to say, heart can feel everything. Like all mothers can do it. They have this mystical powers to feel some events before they happen. And so even though, like in our country, we don't have this Vedic system, we don't have this nimitta gyan, like there are 64 arts which are coming from Vedic wisdom. Even Krishna and Balaram, they were learning this when they were like children at so at that time they were learning like Gitam. It's like singing and dancing, and like there are 64 different arts. They're coming from the real knowledge, and they're like very useful actually for the spirituality, for the real developing of the people. So but even though if like in our country we don't know about these activities, about that knowledge, different arts, like we have those that knowledge, that, but it is kind of, how to say, it is not the original. Like it has changed. It may be like years and years ago, like thousands of years ago, like the whole earth were like under the Vedic rule, and maybe like this knowledge is coming from those times, but still they have some, like we have some knowledge here in Kyrgyzstan. So like native people, they remember something, they can predict. Like my mother, she predicted like she was feeling, just seeing the dream, she could tell. So this ability, usually people who are not in Krishna consciousness, like who are not Krishna conscious, they think that this nimitta jnana art or knowledge is how to say, supposed to make to bring material happiness. Like they think about auspiciousness and inauspiciousness, but they think about them from the material concept of view. They think, oh, I should this sign is good for me, and they're thinking about their material enjoyment. It is good for my material enjoyment. So if something is good for their material enjoyment, they accept it as auspicious. And if something is not good for their material enjoyment, they think, oh, this one is inauspicious. Yeah. But for the person who is practicing bhakti yoga, it is totally different. They're not thinking about their enjoyment or not, or being able to enjoy or not enjoy, because they can understand that there is only one real enjoyer, and he is Krishna, like Krishna Bhagavan Swayam. Yeah, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So only he can enjoy in reality, and all the other souls should serve to make him happy, like to make him to enjoy him. Yeah. So we are not enjoyers. We are the servants who are like giving enjoyment to eternal God, Shri Krishna. So and that's why the same knowledge, nimitta jnana, is used for, but we sometimes people say, oh, there is no good and bad, like there is no auspiciousness and inauspiciousness from the spiritual point of view, and that is also the mistake, because in reality, like in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is said that Krishna instructs Uddhava. He says in 11th chapter, 11th canto, sorry, he instructs that actually we should discriminate between auspiciousness and inauspiciousness from the spiritual point of view, like not from the material point of view, but from the spiritual point of view. Like we can give here, like we can cite text number 3 from the 21st chapter of the 11th canto. So Shudhya Shudhi Vidhiyate Samaneshvapi Vastushu Dravyasya Vichikitsaratham Gunadoshav Shupha Shupau Dharmartham Vyavaharartham Yatrartham Iti Chanakha. I'm sorry for my Sanskrit. So Krishna says here that people should make categories in their lives. What is good, what is bad. If we will analyze religious principles in this way, yeah, we can understand what is clean and what is like dirt, what is unclean. Like in our ordinary life, we have to see difference between good and bad, and that is very important if we want to be able just to live like nicely in this world. We have to understand what is auspicious and what is inauspicious. So this is this nimitta jnana actually is supposed to help us to progress in our spiritual life. So also in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vedaischa sarvairaham eva vedya. So like the real purpose of all the Vedas is to know him. Like we have to understand Krishna, we have to know him, we have to be in Krishna consciousness. So how can we use nimitta jnana in our spiritual life? That is the question, yeah? So we have to understand the art of full dependence on the will of God. So nimitta jnana helps us to understand the will of God. Like, but what is the will of God, and if we, so not what is helping me to enjoy in this world. Not, we want to understand what the God's will is in this world. So this is universal understanding of nimitta jnana. So there are many stories in the Puranas about nimitta jnana, like Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or Bhagavad Purana here in this chapter describes different signs or nimittas, like actually which are like not good for the like which are considering not to be good from the point of view of Maharaja Yudhishthira. So there are three real purposes of nimitta jnana. The first one is sadhana bhakti, or to establish eternal relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the second is nimitta matram, or to become an instrument or the tool in the hand of God. And the third purpose is paraloka sadhana karma. So paraloka sadhana. So it means we have to be able to prepare ourselves like for the death. If we see some signs, like before death, we should understand that death is coming, and we should be able to prepare ourselves for this. This is the the final exam, and we have to be able to understand it. So these are three purposes of nimitta jnana. So I want to say some words about paraloka sadhana karma, which are like so this ability to prepare ourselves for the death. There is Aitareya Upanishad, and in this Aitareya Upanishad we have the for this Upanishad we have the commentary of Madhvacharya, and Madhvacharya says that in the purport for this Upanishad, Madhvacharya says that there are two types of death. The first one is apamrityu, and the second one is kalamrityu. So kalamrityu means to die by your, how to say, after a long life, 100 years, maybe 90 years or 120 years. If the personality dies after so many years, without any physical injury, it just should be happen by the will of God, we can say. Yeah, so it's happening by horoscope usually. Yeah, so people should live a long life and then they are dying. So it is kalamrityu, death which is coming by the time, kala. Yeah, and the second one is apamrityu, or in other words, it is akalamrityu. So it is it's when people are dying before the time is coming, in a very young age, maybe, from some accident or something is happening, maybe because of the bad karma he is doing, from the past life. So there are some nimittas that can say us, or the signs that can say us, that can say they predict our death. Yeah. From the astrological view, the loneliness of our life, can be different. In astrology, they categorize the the periods of life, like people who are living only like less than 24. If a person lives less than 24 years, that is called alpayu. If the person lives like less than 75 years, then it is called madhyayu. And if the person lives less than 100 years, then it is called purnayu. If the person lives less than 120 years, it is called dirghayu. And if the person lives more than 120 years, it is called paramayu. So alpayu, it is the shortest life. Yeah. So the real reason for this shortness of the life is arishta. Yeah. Arishta can be sadyorishta. Yeah. When death is coming, like within the first year of a child, or balarishta, when death is coming from the 1 year to 12 years, within that period. And yogarishta, the third type of this arishta, is when the death is coming between 12 and 20 years. So apamrityu is coming, like akalamrityu is coming because of the sins we have done in the past, like usually like this. But also it is said that it can be coming with because of the how to say, sins coming like done by father or mother. It is also possible. If parents are too sinful, then their child might go earlier. And also another reason for apamrityu is offenses of old people. If we are committing offenses towards elder one, then we can, that might also happen. Yeah. And also if we are doing too much sins in this life, in this case also we can die before the time comes. And so this type of death might happen because of some accident, or because of some war, or because of some illness. Apamrityu can be cancelled by the mercy of God only, and also not just God only, also by the mercy of a devotee. Very interesting that Srila Madhvacharya is saying that Lord Pradyumna is situated on the sun disk, and also he is situated in our eyes, Lord Pradyumna. And the same Lord Pradyumna, he is situated in our hearts as Aniruddha. It is. So we have two deities within our body. The first one is Pradyumna, which is situated in our eyes, and the second one is Aniruddha, which is situated in our hearts. So at the time of death, these deities are like going away, and when they are going away, then our soul cannot more situated in our body. So we have to leave the body also. We are not able to be within our body just by our own will. Actually, we are situated. I am situated in my body because there is God also here. Like Pradyumna and Aniruddha are situating here. So when they want to leave our body, like Pradyumna and Aniruddha, some inauspicious signs are coming also. So I will just read some of them. I'm translating from Russian, so I'm sorry if I'm like saying something, if I will be saying something like not so good in English. So the first one is the sun becomes not so shining, and like it becomes like moon. We can look at the sign at the sun, if we see like sun being not so brilliant, then it is the sign that like death is coming. The second one, um, the sky becomes purple in the color. The third one, like our how to say, our body becomes weak. Yeah. The fourth one, very bad smelling is coming from the head of a person. Yeah. The fifth one, sun disk becomes visible like a wheel, like bicycle's wheel. Yeah, we can see like different sections on the sun disk. The sixth one, our shadow becomes how to say, it has some holes, like we are looking at our shadow and we can see some that our shadow is not it has some different parts. Yeah. So, and if a person looks into the mirror and he sees that his head is cut, or his body without a head, that is also an auspicious sign. So if we close our eyes, and if we are like pushing them softly, them our closed eyes, then we can see that some fire, like how do we say this, fireballs are like falling. We can see some firing balls. So oh, sorry. So usually we can see the fireballs if we are closing our eyes, but if we are not able to see these firing balls, like then it is apamritya, like it is like the sign of apamritya, or like sign of death. So if we are closing our ears with our fingers, we can hear some firing sounds, some sounds of fire. Yeah, usually it's like this for the like ordinary people. But if we are not able to hear these sounds of fire, then it is also sign of coming death. So we have different signs, and we have to be able to predict them. Actually, it is very important to understand that death is coming. Like Maharaja Khatwanga, when the demigods, they come and they said to him, please ask for any benediction you want. He said he was not interested in material enjoyment, or like some fame, or like other things. He just asked, please tell me when will I die? And demigods say, actually you will die within like in one muhurta. Only you have time for one muhurta, or about 48 minutes only. So actually his death should come like so fast. And Maharaja Khatwanga, he went to from the like heavenly planets, he came to earth, and he accepted shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, and he became actually successful in this. Like he got how do we call it, like he got benediction from God. Yeah. So these are very important. We have to be prepared for the death. Yeah. So after seeing these different signs of coming death, people should understand what they should they should follow paraloka sadhana karma. So it means that they should pray to be able to go, how to say, to reach the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Yeah. So in Bhagavad Gita 8.6, 8.5, it is said, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavita. Yeah. Like, and anta kale chamam eva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samat bhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. Whatever condition of life if one remembers at the time of death, he reaches that condition of life in his next life. And if one thinks only about me or God, like about Krishna at the time of death, he goes to Krishna, like he attains his nature. So there is no how to say, so it is like guaranteed. Yeah. So this is our real understanding of nimitta gyan. We should try to see some signs and try to follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. Yeah, he wanted us to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And if we're chanting this, then we are getting a real auspiciousness. We are getting Krishna consciousness. We are getting Krishna prem. Like we are able to go back to God, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So this is what everything I could say today. So if there is some someone who wants to say to tell us something or any questions.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, where from which shastra you took the types of deaths?
Oh, it's from the commentary of for Aitareya Upanishad by Madhvacharya, and there is a book in Russian. Actually, I think it is written in English first. It's just the translation. Bharat Chandra Prabhu. Bharat Chandra. His name is Bharat Chandra Prabhu, and he has written this nice book. And there are some also something which is coming from Kanara Vachana, like a famous book by this lady Kana. She was the wife of some astrologer, and she learned astrology from her husband. Like Prabhupada said like this, and like she made the book Kanara Vachana. Like there are very little like short texts about these signs or like predictions. Like this, like there is this prediction. If at the end of Maghya month there is some little rain, yeah, then the ruler of this country, like the Raja of this country, president, is a very pious personality. We can understand it from these different signs. So like if we are like like if we are looking at the science from the material point of view, like Arjuna, yeah, at the before he started, like at the beginning of the battle at Kurukshetra, Arjuna, he saw these different signs also. Yeah, his body was quivering and everything like was not so good. And that, like, the signs are not so important, the consciousness is important. Like, it is not important like what is happening from the outside. The most important thing is our consciousness, our heart, our mind. Yeah, like this is more important. So Arjuna, he saw this from the material point of view. So his consciousness at the beginning like was not so good. And that's why Arjuna, he like how to say, he made wrong conclusions. Arjuna, he was thinking, oh, I shouldn't fight. I'm seeing this bad signs, I shouldn't fight. That was his conclusion. So if we are in a material, how to say, in consciousness, yeah, then we cannot make, if we can see these signs, we cannot make a good conclusion, auspicious conclusion. So auspiciousness is coming from our consciousness, right? So like that's why the real that's why Prabhupada is giving us such a nice practice. Like we should just chant, we should eat prasadam, we should associate with the devotees, we should read books, we should serve devotees, we should serve deities, we should get up like early in the morning, do Mangalarati, chant our rounds nicely. Then whatever happens in our life, like auspiciousness will come because our consciousness will be in a right condition. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for explanation. So, any devotee has any question, you can unmute your mic and ask, or you can type in the comment box. So, Prabhuji, you are a maths professor. So, did you find any, mathematical something about, Lord, mathematical glorification for the Lord Krishna?
I don't know. When I was in India last time, I bought some books on Vedic math. I was interested, but I'm not so. Actually, I'm just. I do know some mathematics, but I'm not so good in math. I'm not a genius, you know. I'm just following the instructions of my father. He says to me that I should learn this. I'm learning this and using it in my profession. That's all. So, like right now, I'm studying. I have done my PhD on integral equations. So I know how to solve some integral equations. That's it. I'm using it for like my job, and I'm doing my research. That is like a requirement. You have to do some publications, like at least 2 publications for a year. So I need to do this also for my profession. That's it. And I don't know, like I think I'm not how to say, there are different types of people. Yeah, the first one are more how to say, rationalistic, more logical people, and the second one are more emotional, like irrational. So I'm kind of, I feel always that I'm more emotional. I'm not so logical, like in my vision, you know. But I can understand logic also. But within my heart, I'm not so logical person. So that's why maybe I'm not so. I was not interested in this proving that Krishna is God from the like. For me, like Vedas are enough. You know, if Vedas say that Krishna is God, then I accept it. So if mathematics say that Krishna is not God, then I will not accept it. Yeah, because like I believe in Vedas, not in mathematics. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Blissful soul, Prabhu. I don't know what your name is.
Varun. I'm Varun.
Varun Prabhu. I'm so thankful to you. So for this opportunity, Sham Chandra Prabhu, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so we'll offer Vaishnava Pranam and conclude the session. Unless any devotee has any question. Okay. Vacha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।